Welcome back to week 6 of English 101, Rhetoric 1. This is our reading lecture for the week. We're going to talk about three things. First one is our short story, just a little more depth about the characters and some of the conflict. And then we're going to talk about two readings, just very briefly on those, called Take Your Best Shot, and which is for our journal, and Women Are Disappearing and Dying, Ending a Country. That's our journal, rather. Take Your Best Shot is for a reading summary this week. So let's get started, and we'll try to keep this video pretty brief. So you might remember from last week talking about our short story, which is this week by Jhumpa Lahiri, who's writing in the story A Temporary Matter, this temporary situation that's happening. And, so one of the things you can think about as you're reading this story, and again, we're going to use this as the basis for essay 5 and 6, so we'll be working with it for a while before we get into writing about it. But, what are the characters in this story struggling with? What are the issues that they're struggling with? And right away, if you've read this story, I bet you could answer me if we were face to face. You would know, because there's one issue, something that's happened that they're really struggling with, and that's led to the personal kind of issues they're having in their relationship, I think. So also we can talk a little bit about the setting. This is a street in Boston, I think, in the winter. Here's a power outage over here. So what we've got is not a power outage, but it is winter in Boston. It's probably in the 1990s is what I'm guessing, but I don't know that it says, but I just know from Jhumpa Lahiri's dates and when she was writing and publishing these stories, we could say it's the 80s or 90s. I think probably 90s. There's some mention of computers, so that was something that wasn't as common until the 90s, but not too much mention of phones. So anyway, we can kind of guess that maybe that's about when this is taking place. We know there's been this situation where the power is going to be shut off. They're trying to repair some power lines in the neighborhood, and power is going to be shut off every night for a week. They get a notice about that at the beginning of the story. So that's kind of our setup. And then these are some just important things I want to highlight. Again, as you're looking at the story, if you haven't read it, go ahead and maybe read it this week. But you want to have read it before we get into essay 5 for sure. And that's a couple of weeks out there still. But this is a longer story, so I wanted to give you plenty of time to look at it. It says 6 months ago in September, Sukumar was at an academic conference in Baltimore when Shobha went into labor. So again, the husband I think it doesn't say if they're married, does it? But anyway, any rate, the man and woman in the story, the man's away at an academic conference in Baltimore rather, from Boston. So and she goes into labor. She's having their first child. A member of the staff had found him somehow. So we skip forward a little bit. This is on pages 2 and 3 of the story. The identical convention rooms and handed him a stiff square of stationery. She gives him a little piece of paper. It was only a telephone number. So again, you remember this is a time when we didn't have cell phones. If it were a cell phone, somebody would have probably texted him or called him right away, but they have to track him down kind of. When he returned to Boston, it was over. The baby had been born dead. Shobha was lying on a bed asleep in a private room so small there was barely enough space to stand beside her in a wing of the hospital they hadn't been to on the tour for expectant parents. So there we have it, right? So if you hadn't already read this, I kind of spoiled it for you. But this is early on in the story, page 2 and 3, around here, where we learn that they've lost a child, right? And it was their first child, and they're fairly young. So this is pretty devastating, right, for them, I think, and causes them to at least all kinds of other things that you can learn as you read through the story. Tonight, this is on page 8, a little further, skipping a little further, just trying to highlight some of the main things to kind of guide the reading for you. Tonight, with no lights, they would have to eat together. For months now, they'd served themselves from the stove, and he'd taken his plate into his study, letting the meal grow cold on his desk before shoving it into his mouth without pause, while Shobha took her plate to the living room and watched game shows or proofread files and with her arsenal of colored pencils at hand. So this is kind of describing, okay, they've had some point 6 months ago, they had this, so we get this narrative, so we have chronological order, right, time order. We're getting some time order ideas here. And 6 months ago, they had this miscarriage. She had a miscarriage. Now, they don't usually always eat together, right? But with no lights, they would have to eat together. So the power outage is pushing them back together. They've been kind of living almost separate, but in the same home. Something happened when the house was dark. This is around page 19, so much further into the story, closer to the end. And we've had this experience that each night they've been sitting together, eating together, and actually starting to talk. And one of the things I want you to look at is, as you read this story, if you can try to find out, what are they talking about? They have a little game almost that they start to play, and it has to do with honesty and trust maybe and sharing things. So see if you can find out what kinds of things they're sharing and talking about as they go through these nights together of an hour or so where they have the power off and they're kind of forced back together. Something happened when the house was dark. They were able to talk to each other again. The third night after supper, they'd sat together on the sofa. Once it was dark, he began kissing her awkwardly on her forehead and her face. And though it was dark, he closed his eyes and knew that she did. So maybe kind of they haven't been very intimate, very close. They're kind of something's happening. These power outages, again, this is, remember, it's called The Temporary Matter. That's the name of the story. All kinds of different wordplay, maybe potentially for that title. The morning of the fifth night, Shukumar found another notice from the electric company in the mailbox. The line had been repaired ahead of schedule, it said. He was disappointed. So here the power outage is fixed and he's disappointed because it's bringing he and his wife back together. It seems like that they have this time together. He planned on making shrimp male for Shobha, but when he arrived at the store, he didn't feel like cooking anymore. So there we have on page 20. And there's a couple more pages, but this is, again, I just wanted to highlight some of the parts in the story where we see conflict or hope, or, conflict sometimes is wishing for something. It can be expressed that way in literature, right? You're wishing for something, and there's kind of a conflict there because are you going to be able to get it, right? A lot of times when people are talking about writing fiction, they say the characters have goals. So what does Shukumar maybe want, and so on. We'll talk more about this story as we get closer to writing essay 5 and 6. But again, if you haven't read it, if you can start to read it, and within a couple of weeks, we'll be writing about this story. For now, we're still talking about Edison, New Jersey in terms of our writing, but I want to get us started with this one. And as always, as you read through this, think about the language that they're using, think about the words they're saying to each other. That's, of course, important, whether it's literal or figurative or concrete or abstract or simple or complex language. And the point of view, of course, who's telling the story? Is it told from a third person? I think this is more about third person narrative, right? We're hearing about somebody standing outside and talking about both of them and able to, or is it from limited perspective of Shobha or Shukumar? So we have to go back and look at that, maybe think about that, because that can determine a lot with the meaning of the story. And then finally, some of these themes that you can imagine are coming up in the reading. How people, family and children and even ambition and getting ahead and trying to work, that kind of comes up just like it did in some ways. He's a PhD student, she's working very hard, they're busy, relationships and whether those work out or don't, or what kinds of conflicts people can have there. So lots of universal themes, I think, in the story that you can relate to. So again, for our reading summaries this week, there's an article called Take Your Best Shot. When you read that, you might think about your flu shot, but this is related to the COVID-19 vaccines that were being developed. And this article is about 2 years old now. So when it was written, there was a lot of speculation about what was going to happen with the vaccine, how fast would it be developed. But take a look at this one, and again, see if you can comment on this in the reading summaries this week. And then finally, for our journals, remember, journals are not due until the end of the semester, but I do urge you to be writing those if you can. Journals it's up to you to write anything you want to. I'm going to give you a prompt each week, but if you just want to write in your journal and say week 6 and just say, I went to the supermarket, I did this, that's fine too. You can write about anything in your journal. It's writing practice. It's weekly writing practice. Just like if you were playing soccer or basketball or baseball, you do certain drills. And this is the way I see writing is the more you do it, the more fluent you become with it. And so the journals are out there. And this week there's an article called Women Are Disappearing and Dying in Indian Country. That's our journal for this week. So let me know if you have any questions. As always, send me an email or stop by office hours, and I will see you next week.